Hello, hello, hello. Welcome on in.
Oh my gosh, so many pregnant Mega Men!
Oh my gosh. How are we doing? How are we doing? Wait, the Waffle Cup is insane. I know. It's crazy, man. It goes crazy. First off, I want to thank those of you who did buy the cup or buy anything from the drop, really. They just said, like, oh, here's how you did day one. And they gave me, like, here's how many sold. And you know, I appreciate it. A lot of you did. Go for it. It's one of those things. Thank you. Thanks so much. You never know how it's gonna go until you do it, right? 1 million desk mats sold. 1 million. No, I think if I sold like 10K of something or more, like they'd start scrambling. They'd be panicking. Like, the amount of time it takes to produce stuff, you know. Hard to predict sales of merch. It's easy to predict things that you've done a million times, but stuff that you haven't done, you just don't have the data on it, you know. I will say, the first separate cup I did, the one before this, sold a ridiculous amount. And I want to say part of it did really well because I released it right after I joined VShojo, so I think there was that. But it was crazy.
Moo!
But I want to go a different direction with this one. We'll see how it goes, man. This one is like without that, you know what I mean? So I always looked at the, like, how the last one did, and I was like, I don't think I can count on this data at all, you know, to be like, oh, I think I'll do this many, or like something like that, because it was a different time, you know? It was a very different time. But yeah, thank you guys for any of that. I appreciate it. But it's, as always, I mean, if people want to support, I just ask that they subscribe. You don't need to buy the cup. It is very appreciated, though. I just ask if you like things and you sub. That's it. Bought some soap using your code. Yeah, it's still applying the 20% off right now. I don't know if it's supposed to right now, but it is. There's actually a new soap flavor. I don't know if you saw it. It just released today. Queso's Kokomo. Queso's Kokomo. It's coconut, pineapple, and vanilla. They were saying to me, I was talking to the cheeky guy, Shane, and I was like, hey, what do people like ask for? You know, I was just curious. I was like, what do people ask for? Because I already have my scent, so I'm not in the scent phase of trying to figure out what I want because mine's already done. But I was like, what's like requested? And he was saying that, you know, he's glad that they're doing this one because he was like, so many people keep requesting coconut. Like, so many people keep requesting coconut. So yeah, this one's finally out, and I'm glad. It's not just coconut, it's a blend, because I think coconut's a beautiful scent, but it does well when layered with other things, and that's what this is. It is Queso's mom approved. She does have good taste. Queso's mom is basically his manager, and she takes care of like everything, you know, like she's involved in everything. And she really like picks so well when she's like helping out with these types of projects. I feel like her taste is like really good, genuinely. Really good. She is kind of the goat. It makes me kind of jealous. I kind of want like my mom involved in like my own management because she knows my taste so well, but she's so not good with the internet and good with like new tools and things. She's a smart woman and she could be onboarded, but she like it's not necessarily for her, you know, like just because she could doesn't mean she'd have a good time doing it. And yeah, it's a fully online business. Exactly. If I ever had a reason to have anything physical, I would put her in there instantly, though. Get her on Kalot. She'd probably have an easier time understanding something like that than, you know, a lot of existing systems. It's not that she can't, she's just a little resistant. She likes being more analog, so. But she would do so well at like keeping up with everything. Just management in general, she does not let anything slip past her, you know. Sark, thank you for the 5. Thank you so much. JT, thank you for the Prime resub. RN, thank you for the 29 months. Legit, thank you for the 31. Holy. So Cheeky ships out so quickly. Got my order in like 2 days. They do. Isn't it disgusting? I actually asked them like where they do all their stuff, who they do it through. I was like, who's shipping your shit? Because my God, is it good? Boris will be alive. Give him a minute. With this Gamer Subs drop, since I haven't done any product releases through them in a while, you know, as per usual, anytime we work with someone new, give me feedback on your shipping once this starts. It's not gonna start yet, you know. It's pre-order period right now, but whenever this stuff starts shipping, please give me feedback in the merch channel in my Discord on it. Because I know they've changed up who they use for shipping and things since I last did something with them, because the last time I did something with them was late 2023. The last time we actually like dropped a product, you know? So it's been a long time. It's been a long time. So yeah, if you have any thoughts on that, just let me know how it goes. Wish I had more insights into B2B dealing. Seems interesting. It is, and I have a lot of insight on it because I'm trying to do stuff, right? Like I'm the founder of a company now and I'm trying to do more of that. It takes a lot of asking around and being positioned well to like get that insight though. It's like any other industry. You have to just get deep into it to know that info. Usually it's just the pre-order wait that's the worst of the game stuff. Yeah, but that's a normal pre-order wait. I mean, they wouldn't start shipping and stuff before the pre-order period's done. This pre-order period is not too long either. This one is May 4th is when it closes down. So this stuff is available for what, 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks from today. And then after that they start production and then shipping. I didn't want to have a super long pre-order period. I was like, look, the majority of the people buy within like the first couple of days of the announcement anyway. Yeah, there are always stragglers, but like, I'd rather just get it done quickly. If you want it, you want it. And that's it. You know, that way the people who do order at the beginning, which is, again, the bulk of you, will get it a little quicker. So, yeah. Do you have to train a lot for the cup photo op? Dude, I've been trying to stretch and become flexible again. When I was like younger, I used to dance a lot. And I did everything. So that included like ballet. So I was really flexible. And nowadays, I wouldn't say I'm not, but not as much for sure. So I've been like, you know, trying to do full stretching routine. And I'm going to try and do it every other day. Because you definitely need an off day for that type of stretching routine. And I was thinking of getting a ballet bar and just like just a short segment of one, or even just a railing, you know, whatever, and just attaching it to a wall and having it there, because I feel like being able to stretch certain ways without the bar is actually kind of tough. But yeah, I think I need that. No Central Park Tai Chi clubs. There's Tai Chi everywhere. There is actually, but they the ones that are sitting there outdoors and everything, a lot of them don't. It's made for old people, you know. Like there aren't a lot of young people that do it, so they don't go into more of the intense posing and stuff like that because it's designed for older people usually. So yeah, my niece dances her favorite is hip hop. I always loved doing dance. I liked hitting up all genres too. It was so fun. And then it was one of my hustles. I did like a lot of little hustles when I was a little bit older and trying to work and pay for college. So that included like teaching some dance classes, doing like music related stuff, right? Like getting hired as part of a quartet to play events, things like that. Like every hustle I could possibly do, I was doing. Whether it was frequent or infrequent, there were times where it wasn't, times where it wasn't. So I just, yeah, getaway driver, HVAC person, no. Just doing like everything I could though, because I had to pay for my own college. I just had to. So, yeah. And it made me really love dance in a class format because being the teacher is a lot tougher than just doing what you want to do, you know? So I really love dance. But yeah, you said, are you finding exercise in general better now? I remember post-surgery, you said you could only do light exercise. Somewhat, yeah. I'm working on cardio. I couldn't do cardio for a long while because my heart was getting pushed on. Like all of my organs were getting pushed on by my gigantic tumor. So I have to be really careful with my heart rate. Right now I'm okay, but like for the longest time, when I got out of surgery and they were giving me like my PT instructions, they were like, "Hey, since all of your organs were getting pushed on, everything was compressed, whatever." And you couldn't really move, like you are in this state and you need to really slowly do it. I don't think I have any excuse anymore, really, you know, but they were definitely like, I was like, oh, well, I would love to get back into XYZ. And one of those things was dance practice. And they were like, hey, for the first like 6 months minimum, like, no, they straight up were like, no, maybe even the first year. And I was like, what? They were like, you cannot be doing that to your heart. I said, okay. They said I could lift a bit, but I had to be really careful about heart rate. I think I'm a lot better now though. I was getting really out of breath the first year post surgery, and any post care as well. Like it was just stairs would kill me. Like just going up a normal flight of stairs. You know, think industrial stairs we go back and forth once, right? Just that would like kill me. When normally I used to like jog up the stairs up to the 5th floor to get to whatever, you know, like I was able to do that before that. And I feel like I wasn't like out of commission physically for so long, but when you like can't move properly and you can just shuffle around when you walk and you can't even like stretch, it really, you lose it so quickly. And then plus the effect of the mass just being in you and pushing on things really one of the issues with it was that I couldn't breathe properly, and then after the surgery my diaphragm now could move down normally again, but I had to train my muscles. I had to like manually breathe all the time to get myself to breathe with my stomach again and not my rib cage. And I had to teach myself to do that. So I had to like manually and consciously do all of that. And they were like, until you are not manually breathing, until you are naturally breathing the way you're supposed to, taking deep breaths instead of shallow ones, everything, like until you're doing that, you can't do cardio. And that just took a hot minute to get there. Yeah, diaphragmatic breathing. When my lung collapse, the PT was just deep breaths, and that was exhausting alone. Yeah, imagine doing that, but you're also like, your body's just drained because you haven't been able to move in like a year, you know? So it's just like crazy, man. But it's been enough time since then where that's not really a concern, but I'm just like at the bottom, dude, with what I'm starting with. I've been stretching a lot and everything, but it's wonder whether there's an actual feeling of internal decompression as the organs reorganize. You don't really have like nerve endings viscerally like that, where you feel that so specifically. Personally, I just felt like I was gonna throw up all the time because everything was weird. And as food moved through me, I constantly felt like I had not like gas pain, but you know when you felt like a little discomfort from gas and stuff, it felt like that constantly because things were in different positions. And it wasn't that it hurt, it was that it just felt different. you know, because everything was in a different position now, very suddenly after the surgery. Like it's still slowly shifting, but you know, you like it just felt different. And that when something feels different internally, your brain signals you like, oh, something's wrong, even though it's not, you know, because suddenly very different feeling internally is bad. Your body's like, oh, what's this? So, yeah, it was definitely a weird feeling, but it wasn't like, you know, like my nerve endings feeling weird. It's just generally like my brain was getting confused with what was going on. But I logically knew that I was okay, so I was able to just sit there and deal with it, you know. And it also it definitely helped that I was on constant rounds of like Tylenol and ibuprofen around the clock. So that definitely made it so that I couldn't feel some of what was going on. It does really well at getting rid of internal pain like that, which also means internal feeling. So there's a good amount of it I couldn't quite feel. What? You said I had to get a blood test and EKG and x-rays to start a new job today in ... marketing. What the fuck? EKG and x-rays? I get the blood test if they're like drug testing you. Usually that's like urine though, but that's like crazy. Yeah, are they harvesting and then marketing your organs? The EKG kind of freaks me out. Why they X-ray? They're trying to take your liver, dude. Run. Sounds like it has overlap with some experiences of pregnancy difficult. Yeah, but without the nice hormones that course through your body and like make things ready for it. and then and then also like not in the right places exactly either. It's pretty terrible. That was pretty double. I think they were trying to yeah, I think they're trying to take your organs, dude. What job makes you get x-rays? I understand it if you are doing physical labor of some kind and it's something specialized. Like let's say you're going to go do, I don't know, deep sea welding. If they said deep sea welding, yeah, they should test everything. Astronaut, yeah, they should test everything. You know, anything that is maybe less intense than that, but similar types of work, they should test everything. But like a marketing firm? What the fuck? How long ago was the surgery by now? Oh, it was a bit ago. It was in 2023, but there was still, that was not the end of it. There was still post-care. So I'm still in remission for a few years. I was thinking about, I'm trying to think about doing something. I don't know if it makes sense to even care about lining it up with dates, but June is like Cancer Survivors Month or whatever. So I was like, maybe I should do something. But I rarely do like a solo charity thing because I am the charity because my medical bills were insane. You know what I mean? And I remember a while back I said to someone that I was working with, I was like, I would like to maybe do a charity thing, and they were like, you're they were like, they're aware of my finances and stuff, which are not completely in shambles. I'm not dying, you know, financially. But still, I'm not one of those creators that like has $1 million in the bank. You know, who has an easier time being like, yeah, let me just give away a whole bunch. So I was like, I might still do something, but do like a half and half. Like half to me, half to charity or something. I think that'd be nice. I still want to do something, but I'm just not mega rich to the point where I could be like, let's give it all. But like, I want to be able to do that. I want to get to the point where I could do that. You know, it'd be really nice. Have you considered surviving cancer for Cancer Survivors Month? Well, I got news for you. Do I have news for you? You're talking to one right now. Yeah, check the tags, dude. An awareness thing for you and the issue at large. Yeah, yeah, I think that's what's most important to me. Maybe a group event with other survivors. I'm really tired of group events. Because every time I've tried to organize a group event, it gets over the finish line at the last second. The clock strikes 11:59 and everything's barely getting done and it's so stressful, and then you can't even enjoy doing the event because you're just winding down from the stress. You know, Domekeeper tournament was sick. I'm glad it was sick. I had a great time, but I'm going to be real with you. I had people that canceled the day before. People who said, yes, I can do this. They knew the date and time and said, yes, I can do this, and then said nothing for a couple weeks, and then the day before canceled. So I'm hugely thankful to the whole roster there. Some of them subbed in last minute. And I called upon people that I knew would, like, show up and show out, But it was just, man, it was stressful. And the thing is, too, when you do an event for, like, a sponsored event, part of the appeal when you tell them about who you're inviting is who you're inviting.
Sorry.
Right?
I know you asked 6 months ago and I said yes, but I left my oven on fire.
I can't do it. Well, it's part of the appeal for a sponsored event is I'm like, yeah, I'm inviting these people, and they said yes. So they're expecting a certain group of people. And then, unfortunately, most of the large streamers are most likely to dip or be wishy-washy, or they just want to tell you if they're available 2 days before. They don't like to plan things a month out, some of them, and it's, like, tough. Because I'm like, well, this isn't just my own casual little thing. This is like a whole event, So it was very stressful, Yeah, you don't want to bait and switch them, right? I mean, they were still really happy with how everything went, who I got. I specifically got people who really liked the game. But also, like, we're chill like that. me and this company. There's some other companies that might not have been chill with it. They might have been like, what the fuck? They wouldn't have been mad at necessarily just me and blamed me, but it's still like I would have been the one to deal with it. You know what I mean? So it's just a little spooky. The group stuff can be really I want to do it. I wish none of this was an issue. But people are not the most reliable. Turned out really well. I mean, no matter what, I was going to be ready. And that's kind of what I told myself. I was like, no matter what, I'm going to be ready. And I have certain people that I know are 100% showing up and we're good. So, I was like, no matter what, it was going to be a fun time. That was never in question. I just don't like promising, like a sponsor or something and then it becomes difficult. But yeah, I don't know. I've had so many like revelations the past year. And I know I've just straight up complained about it sometimes, but I've had so many revelations the past year of who I want to be friends with and who I want to work with. And those are like two different lists, right? And there's some overlap. But there's also a lot of Venn diagram, some on the left, some on the right as well. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just it makes it awkward because, like, everything I do is in front of chat. So sometimes if I do a thing and someone's like, why isn't so-and-so invited? I'm like, well, I'm not going to straight up tell them, like, because they're hard to work with, even though I love them. Like, I'm not going to call out specific names, you know what I mean? But people always ask in chat. And I'm like, ah. Sometimes it's not that. Sometimes they just couldn't make it, but, like, they want to know the specific reason. And I'm like, well, most people it's just like, oh, they couldn't make it. But if it is like one of those reasons where it's like, oh, they don't respond, I won't have to say it, There's a lot of crossover with creatives and being able to schedule properly. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's just creatives. I think that's everyone. You ever try to have a D&D group? You ever have a D&D group? Now imagine if we're doing the same thing, but now there's an audience of people waiting for it to happen on stream. It's the same experience. People meme on D&D groups and raid statics and MMOs and like all the scheduling with that. Imagine that, except you're also streamers. Like, it's the same thing, you know. So stuff I'm complaining about is not like some magical, mystical, only happens to creators thing. Like, this is for everybody, you know. This is for everybody. But now, like, money's on the line sometimes if it's like a sponsored event or, you know. Yeah, imagine that, but with peer pressure. Right. Yeah, imagine that, but it's your job. This is why you should never network, never make friends, only rely on yourself. Jesus. Jesus. Ooh. Sorry, I'm just looking at what Boris replied. Dang. Float in for perms. All my D&D group are friends that have similar schedules with lots of free time, and we still struggle to meet up. Yeah. I just got... I'll make one last complaint. One last, you know, grinds my gears segment. I joined a group to have a group to play games with all the time, and we couldn't even do that. You know? And that's when I was like, okay, I understand. I understand. Like, this is not a structural issue or whatever. This is just how everyone is. Everywhere, everyone's like this, you know? I was like, okay. I get it. It reminds me when you recommend a friend for a job and they're great as a friend, but fucking suck at the job you got for them. Yeah, it's tough to, like, put your name on somebody else and then they don't deliver, but also they're your friend. It's just a scenario that's, like, not fun for anyone in there. Like, everyone loses, you know? And then you have to, like, you essentially have to litmus test people, right? And find out ways to determine who's good at what, who can be relied on for what. And that's weird because no one likes to sit there and have to, like, put people through tests, but you literally have to. So then you're like, how can I put people through tests, but it's not just a test? There's also, like, benefit for them doing this. Maybe it's a collab, maybe it's a whatever. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, man. Oh, man. WoW raid leading turned me into an evil manipulator. I know every trick in the book to convince a 40-year-old married man with kids that, yes, he should log into a video game and die to the same boss for 3 hours. It's so true, though. It's so true. I never wanted to be the raid leader. I was just like, I'll be here, but if you want me to, you know, I'll be tank and I'll lead it day of. I'm like a day of coordinator, but I was like, man, I don't want to be the one scheduling people because I don't have that in me. I get too impatient with people. I just leave it all out on the floor. Okay, someone, I'm doing an event, I'm doing a stream, and I'm trying to invite people. They say, I don't know if I could do this. Let me check my schedule. I go, okay. They don't answer for 3 days. I bump the DM. I go, can you do this day? They go, oh, I'm not sure. I go, okay, answer within the next hour or you're not in it. I need to fill spots. That's what I do now. I'm like, yes or no within blank time frame. And it's not to be mean. It is just to be effective. That's all. Hashtag beast mode. I'll go freaking crazy on them in the DMs. You know, but that's how I do it nowadays. And it has, I feel so much better. I feel so much better overall. Now, that being said, some people say yes, and then they still just don't show up or day before, or like, whoops, you know, or whatever. But in general, it's so much more relieving to just go full no nonsense on it. Has this also increased the gigaphobia levels? Yes. I got a lot of friends that have joined SponsorBot and they're being like so good because they don't want to disappoint me. And I'm like, hey, if you fumble something, you just don't get a sponsorship. You just don't get paid. Like, it's whatever. You know, it's like on you, but they just still like really don't want to disappoint me. So they're being so good. It's kind of funny to me because I'm not trying to like make them feel that way, but I need to live my life, you know? Garrick's been so good. Garrick's been the best. Garrick gets the employee of the month. You get well, it's not employees. You're not like signed to the company like an agency. You're just there. You are the talent of the month. Yeah, they're more like customers. They're more like customers, I would say. Gold star, Garrick. Gold star. Best contractor. It's not even how it works, too. It's a little... well, I guess technically. I don't know. It's such a weird system because everyone's so used to everything being an agency. And then when I try to explain this, they're like, "Oh, so it's like insert agency." Or I'm like, "No, it's not though." I'm trying to come up with a good like 5-word descriptor. Yeah, they're users. Power user of the month is Garrick. Uber for sponsors? No, but even with Uber, the drivers are like... That's the thing, is that it's no blank for sponsors because it doesn't work like any of those things. You know what I mean? I heard someone say Tinder, and I was like, it doesn't work like that at all. It's like you're an unemployed streamer and sponsor bots LinkedIn or Indeed. Kinda not really. It's also not exactly how... I don't know. What's the closest VGen? It's nothing like VGen. In the way it, like, functions. I don't know. The thing is, I don't want to liken it to anything else because it's like... It will have like one feature that reminds you of this and another feature that reminds you of that, and it'll be like a lot of things that could remind you of a lot of things, but there isn't one that it's like super similar to. So I hesitate to be like, oh, it's like this, because it's not like that. not that much. It has like that one thing, you know. I'll figure it out. I have a good descriptor in my head. It's just too long. Like, I can give the whole spiel, and then I have like a slightly, well, it's a relatively more succinct version, but I want the ultra succinct, you know, subtitle under a title kind of length thing. I mean, really, none of that matters. The only thing that matters is that it works. You would hope that the bar weren't that low, but unfortunately it is. So I'm proud to say that it works and people like it, which is really all I wanted, you know. I do aspire to more, but we have hit well over that minimum, which unfortunately is like where the bar is. Or like a VTuber guild, literally nothing like it. It's also not specific to VTubers. We got people in there that you guys have probably never heard of. Find sponsors for talents, pay the talents. Revolutionary. Who could have thought? Well, all the stuff that's like unique and cool is like very, you wouldn't even see it when you use it. It's just like very buried, but it's, in my mind, I'm like, this shit's so cool. Yeah, broker is definitely a better word than some other things, but yes and no. The devil's in the details. Yeah, always. Always. I'm just glad it's working, because so many of my friends for the past couple of years have hopped between all these different companies and all these different things, and it just like, it's one thing if something just doesn't work out, so you leave it amicably. That's not so bad. It like sucks, but it's not so bad, right? But so many times it's been like bad. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna start making something that, you know, it's going to be really good later when it's fully launched. But like right now, I just want something that saves them from that, you know, because that part is woof, woof. And it's going well. It's going well and we're adding to it, but yeah, I'm glad. I'm very glad. Holy, yeah, tier 3 for 47 months. Adele, thank you so much. Jesus Christ, thank you. Solitude also, thank you for the 34, and Toad 35. 35. Where's the angel in the details? When I get in front of someone who I'm supposed to really be able to explain the whole thing to, and I get to explain the whole thing, and they go, ooh. Ooh. Who knew the key was not to fuck over your talent? Isn't it crazy that the key is just to have, like, some good intent? No, I truly think a lot of people in this space are, it's a mixed bag. Yes, there are some people with bad intent, but there are also plenty of people who are just in over their heads. That's all. It's not always people, like, rubbing their hands together and being like, I'm gonna steal from talent. It's not always that. Sometimes it is, but it's not always that, you know? So that's another goal of a lot of the projects I'm trying to do is make things where it's harder for people to fuck up. So if they have good intent, but they're not, like, the best at not letting things fall apart, maybe this can help stuff not fall apart, you know? Yeah, just help with the execution. Yeah, people get way over their heads. A lot of merch companies that have failed, that's their issue. You can go here now. A lot of merch companies, that's their big problem. Is they're like trying to do their thing, right? They're trying to do their thing, and they're like, oh, you know, these companies have scammed people. I'm gonna make one that does it better, and then they like unintentionally do the same thing. It's not usually that they mean to. It's always just not always. It's often just mistakes that compile. And then sometimes those mistakes are a simple fix, and sometimes they're really not, you know? Yeah, the merch pipeline. I think the thing that sucks is some of the company implosions I've seen, and like companies that have hemorrhaged talents, things like that. Some of them, there's really bad stuff going on and bad intent. And then some of them, it's not actually that bad. It's just the thing that was talked about publicly. And sometimes, like, someone points out an issue publicly and it looks terrible and everyone starts slamming on some people. But then those people immediately rectify it and they're like, oh, we missed something. Here you go. And they immediately fix it. But the media never hears about the fix, or they don't care about it. And so, like, yeah, a lot of stuff gets messy. A lot of stuff gets messy. So I'm just hoping to, like, make stuff, make tools and companies and whatever to make it, you know, have more clarity, right? It's not interesting to talk about. Yeah. Everyone just wants to talk about, like, trauma. The moment it's not traumatic and you're like, oh, that thing that you thought was bad, actually, those people did everything in their power to fix it. They just missed something. Right? Like, no one cares about that news. That's not interesting. So, you know, but there's been a lot of that. And then there are also companies where they've done, like, terrible stuff. And then the public opinion of it has been like, oh, it's kind of weird, but, you know, I guess it's fine. And I'm like, no, it's actually terrible. But it's never, like, my place to speak on it. So I just kind of, I explain how things work and leave it at that, you know? Yeah, I mean. But yeah. Nuance on the internet. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I don't know, man. At the end of the day, I'm just having fun making shit. I'm having fun making shit, and I really enjoy those conversations that I'm having, like, constantly, where someone will be like, hey, I heard about your thing. You know, I need help with sponsors. What can you do? And I sit down with them and give them the explanation, and they're like, you mean I can do this without signing my entire being away? And I'm like, yeah, you always could. This makes it easy. And they're like, whoa. And I'm like, damn. Okay. I think most people just never, like, never explored how to do this stuff on their own, but doing it on your own is really tough too. So it's like, just trying to bridge that. I don't know. Ideally, my shit makes it so that you don't need anything. You could do everything 100% yourself, but still make like full sponsor money, Because there are some bigger creators out there that don't even have a manager. They have nothing but themselves. And they don't want a team. They don't want a team at all. They want to do it completely solo. So I wanted to be able to like help those people, because those people have the hardest time getting connected to like all these random ass companies that want to sponsor you, That's hard. So I wanted that. And then as I was building it, I was like, wait a minute. I can make it work for everyone really well though. But that was my original intent. That was like my first iteration of the project, because I myself wanted to just like do it solo. I was like, I want to be able to have my own hired in managers, assistants, whatever. But at the end of the day, if I'm like switching between people, trying things out, whatever, I want to just still have like all control of it in one place. So that was the original. And now it's like a lot on top of that, but some people want to be in control of everything. I mean, you should be. Oh my God, I was like about to punch my monitor yesterday because you know what Michi said? I was in Michi's chat. Oh man. And I know she's like this, so I'm not surprised. I was just like, no. And she was talking about something. And she said her manager is her password manager. And I was like, shut the fuck up and download a password manager. I was like, oh my God, no. That shit pissed me off. I don't care. I'll say it publicly. That pisses me off. Download a password manager. Meow. Okay? Meow. Right now. I was like, what the fuck? Mine goes her calendar too. That's fine. You can have a shared Google Calendar. There's nothing wrong with that. Passwords? Girl. I'm going to link her a different password manager every day. Every day until she uses one. Every single day. I'm just going to send her a link and be like, you should try this one. What about this one? Because you can also share your password vaults with other people, which is how content creators do it when they have a manager and they want them to have access to certain things. What they'll do is they'll put certain things into a little vault of passwords and be like, this stuff we can put, my manager in as well. Right? And then you can revoke access too. There's somewhere that person can autofill stuff, but they can't copy paste it and everything as easily. It's like, there's still a way to do it, but it's like a little harder, There are all these ways to do this. So I just, I think if she just tried it, she'd realize it's actually like really nice. And it would still let her, have a manager have access to whatever they need. Because there is annoying stuff too, like on YouTube, for example, you can add another user to be your manager or to be an editor or to be a whatever, right? So you can just have other people have access to certain things and certain permissions. But TikTok? No, you just log in. That's it. You log in. You cannot have like any additional people be able to log in and like make posts for you, or like maybe they're just a moderator for your comments or something. For like replies. You can't do that. So like you have to straight up just give your entire TikTok login to somebody if you want them to help. Which is like, if they're a certain person, maybe good, other times scary. Yeah, you can do like 2-factor, but that's annoying. There's a lot that I'm like, you know what? Just having a password manager just saves you with a lot of this. Because if you have an issue, you go on there, you revoke access, you have a list of all the things you need to change so you can pull it from that person. Easy. Michi's the one experiencing the most geegaphobia by getting good advice. Do you think my advice is going to increase her geegaphobia levels? It might. I don't care. I don't care. She's my friend, so I don't care. I'm going to tell her anyway. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to send her a password manager. She's the ones that I know I can. And if she doesn't want to, she'll just go, I don't want to, which is fair. But no. I'm just going to send her stuff anyway. Do you have a favorite password manager? Yeah. What about it? You can still share them, and importantly, they still can't see the password. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Very secure, very secure. So, yeah, there are nice ways to do it. I really should just make one giant text document. How to set up and run all your shit without fucking up. And that's what I'll call it for content creators. I'll call it that. And I'll just make a big document, and it'll be like, here's everything you should do. And then I'll make some videos where I just talk over bits of it. My old CEO had all his passwords on a TXT file. Yeah, well, I am, maybe this is a little, is cynical the word? Cynical of me? I don't know. My personal belief, my personal feelings on that is if somebody does things in a way that's like not good like that, and then they get hacked or they have a thing, I just go, you deserved it, you know? Like that's, I'm in the corner going, you deserved it, you idiot, you know, because they put all the passwords in a TXT. Like, I just don't feel bad. I feel for, I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you're feeling a lot of emotions right now, but you could have prevented this, you know? Now, it's one thing when you get super ultra mega hacked and mega fished and token yoinked, and, you know, there are certain scams where they're like crazy. I get it. But like the basic stuff, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. I feel bad that they never did the things they were supposed to do to prevent that from happening, you know? But like, people become illiterate when they open up documentation. Well, if they can't read through a document, then they, you know, then I would feel the same way. If they couldn't read through the document, they're like, I didn't read your document to set stuff up right, so I didn't, and then I got hacked. I'd be like, you deserved it, you know? Sorry. Sorry. Why shouldn't people just use TXTs for passwords? If anything compromises your PC and they're just these available documents with passwords in them that could easily just get scraped and found, then all of your shit is found. I mean, it's super simple. It's super simple. Just memorize your passwords. Mine are kind of convoluted, but I have a way of remembering them that helps. I still use a password manager to make like really secure, annoying looking passwords. And it also lets me very quickly change them if I ever need to. So I like that. But yeah, I was going to say the big thing is what Nick said. Password managers have authentication too. Yeah. Password managers usually have multiple ways that you have to do things to get into them to prove that you are you. And that is kind of huge. That is kind of huge for just making sure that you keep your shit secure. All right, my password's in a physical book. You're not getting that by hacking my PC? Yeah, I mean, the fear there, which I think is less of an issue, less likely, is that if someone broke into your home, and let's say you had a laptop, they grab the little book out of your drawer, and they also yoinked your PC, they just have everything. Right? You do have other problems, but, you know, now they also have access to your bank account. You know what I mean? Depending on if you do online banking and your password's on there, you know, you got a lot of different problems, you know. But if they steal your PC and you don't have passwords written down, and they go to your PC and they realize you have a password manager and they have to know your base password to get into your password manager, and because they're on like a new network, it's like, hey, you need to enter in this crazy code or whatever. Like they would have no way to get into it. They have to know what it is and what it looks like. I mean, yeah, realistically, if you want to physically write stuff down, that's fine, but just don't put it in here's the real thing that matters. Don't put it in a notebook in a drawer next to your desk. Right? Like just don't do that. Try to remember them. But have some better way of obscuring it. Bookshelf is okay. I know some people that will have a piece of paper that's like tucked into a regular book. I know some people that have done like old VHS cases and things, they'll put a piece of paper in there because no one's stealing your VHSs if they break in, you know, stuff like that. Sticky note under the keyboard, that one's well known. That one's well known. They'll look. Any sticky notes anywhere, they will find that 100%. But yeah, that's the important thing, is to like at least obscure, right? At least. What if they know you got the OG recordings of Star Wars? Shit. We had someone who put the passwords inside the Bible. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I don't know. There's a lot of like really simple ways you can just put them away somewhere so you'll be all right. It'd be quick. Cabinet next to the safe with all the physical money. I don't know. I know one good one is like in an old shoe. If you have like old shoes just sitting in the closet, you can take a piece of paper and just shove it in the shoe. And like no one's gonna care about that. No one's gonna care at all. That's one of the really easy ones. There's also in the kitchen is one. They never go through your kitchen. If you have someone break in, they're never gonna open the cabinets in your kitchen and try to steal every little canister you've got. They're never gonna do that. So like random ass kitchen locations are pretty good too. Hidden scroll in the dog's collar. Ooh. All these banger spots are now being added. I don't think anyone that's about to break into someone's home is in my chat. I sure hope not. But I don't really think I've got that demographic in this chat that's like sitting here being like, I can't wait to see what she's gonna say about where people hide their passwords so I can steal them. Or do I? Or do I? I don't know. Could get a little crazy. It's the VOD watchers. So true. No, I find my VOD watchers are like, it's a mix. It's this half and half. Well, I wouldn't say half and half. There's two demographics. Sorry, I'm opening chips. I really wanted chips and I got them. Ready? Oh, yeah. I've got two main demographics of people that actively comment on my VODs. And it is really nice, soft people is one. Really nice, soft people. Okay? They'll timestamp something and be like, haha, I love this. Oh, I love that game. Oh, yay. Right? And then the other group is just people who are just like waiting for a moment to either disagree with everything they can or lament about everything they can. So they watch things and then they wait for a moment to be like, actually, I don't like soy sauce because I think the salt content is something. You shouldn't put it in your food because the salt is so bad for you. It's those people where you're like, okay, all right. Like, you know, not even anything crazy. You're just like, all right, whatever you say. Yeah. Or my favorite, though these aren't in the VODs, these are in like the clips and other things. Yeah, either contrarian or, oh, the worst is, I had a clip talking about, what was it? Hold on, I'll find it. It was the same thing over and over. Let me find it. It was a recent one too. Oh yeah, I got a clip called "It's Never Too Late." So someone came into chat and said, "I'm 38 and I've accepted it's going to be a solo mission." Like someone was basically saying that they've accepted that they're never going to find anybody. But they're only 38. So I read that comment out and was like, "No." And my whole point was like, just don't decide that. At least leave yourself open to the idea that it's possible, right? And so many of the comments are just people being like, I've given up. It's impossible. I disagree. It's not possible. Easier said than done. I didn't say it was easy. You know what I mean? It's like half of it is that and the other half being like, thanks, that's nice. You know? So I feel like I feel like my comments are always like just totally 50-50 between that, you know what I mean? I don't think there's anything wrong with being like with some of the people just saying like this is really tough. Like I don't think it's that easy, but I also didn't say it was easy. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where I'm just like, did they watch the clip? And that's okay, bit annoying. Yeah. Because imagine it in person. This is the thing I always say, right? Imagine it in person. Oh, thanks for the forever alone emo. Imagine it in person, right? Where I'm sitting in front of them and someone's like, I've accepted that I can never find anyone. I'm you know, I've been solo for 38 years. And then I'm like, hey, man, again, in person, in front of them going, hey, man, you know, it's still possible. At least leave yourself open to it. So that way there's at least that non-zero chance, which is the thing I kept saying in that clip. Non-zero means like what? 1% less? Like any amount, anything above zero. It doesn't mean, oh, 80%, right? I was just saying like, just don't 100% give up on the idea that it's possible, right? And then some other guy just walks up and goes, yeah, well, I've decided it's going to be alone. I'm going to be alone forever. It's fucked up. like if someone did that in person, everyone would be like, okay, you know, like everyone would be like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, not the time, dude. but somehow when you're on the internet, like that's the behavior, you know? I don't know, man. What's your problem? Yeah. They're the exact people that need to hear it too, which is funny. So I hope they reflect or something and realize that they're gonna be okay. My uncle got a lady friend at 60 plus. It happens a lot, actually. It happens a lot. And I think they just don't know the stats, man. Bro, just wait for the retirement home and get an STD in that bitch like the rest of us. That's what I'm saying. No, the thing is, for every dude that's like, oh, I'm going to be alone forever at 38, there's a woman also being like, oh, I'm going to be alone forever. Because I don't know if you know, but the population of the planet's mostly 50-50 for male, female, right? And on top of that, there's slightly more women than men, okay? And on top of that, most people are monogamous. So the supply on both sides is pretty similar. Imagine that. Stonks. Or slightly more men. It depends on where you are. But I remember being told that globally, it was more women. And there was some sort of study done. They were finding, this is slightly related. There's a study done showing that sperm cells with the X chromosome in them instead of Y were like, on average, better survivors. Just slightly. I always thought it was because women live longer. They do. And that's the thing. Think of all those retirement home honeys available. No, I'm saying Ethel is there, okay? And she is in your area, singles within 20 miles, dude. I'm telling you. And I'm sure she's really nice and she probably cooks really well. You know? Ooh, interesting point. Slightly cynical take is that a decent amount of those guys have an unspoken part of that statement along the lines of, I accepted I won't find an attractive young woman at this point. Ooh. I hate reading that, but I feel like that might be true for some of them. Some of them are just down on themselves, but some of them, yeah, that is the case. Yeah. That's very true. I mean, it's a fact that when you look at when people make dating profiles, the women on average do like a 5 or 10 year range up or down. It's like kind of an equal range up and down from their own age. And then the dudes on average, not all of them, on average, go for younger, my age or younger only, which is kind of like, ooh. Ooh. Now, if you're like someone within 5 years, okay. But when they're like even 10 years, I think honestly, after a certain point, it all blends together. Not a big deal. Age gaps, I don't think are that crazy. But when bro's like 40 and he's like, yeah, I would date a 19-year-old. I'm like, if you said that and you were 60 and it was that gap, I'd be like, okay, because that's a woman who's lived life. So the size of the age gap isn't really the issue. It's when that gap is occurring, right? That's what I'm like, you know, maybe not. But also, it's also so case by case. So I guess it's like, it's okay to say I would consider them if they're at a certain point in their life. Because there are people who are maybe a little younger, but they like are just so much further along in maturity, and not just maturity like in how they act and think, but in what life they've lived until then. I think that changes it a lot, because I know people who are like 28 and they might as well be 19 with the way they fucking act in their worldview, you know? So there is that factor too. But still, to go on a dating profile and set that shit to, yeah, anything within 30 years younger than me and you're like 40, I'm like, all right. All right, buddy. So basically saying anyone on the app who's legal is fine. A little odd. Right? A little odd. You know? I know plenty of grown adults that are mentally stuck in the 4th grade. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's kind of case by case, because I've had some friends where they're dating someone who is quite a bit older than them, but this friend is someone who is at a point in their life where I just feel like it's fine. And there are other friends who've been in the same situation where I'm like, not for you. You know, you're not the one for this. So it really, really, like, you got to know the person to determine if that's like okay or not, in my opinion. Half your age plus 7 is the creep line, not the appropriate line. Oh yeah, that was always the rule, wasn't it? Half your age plus 7. Yeah, I think it's not a bad rule of thumb. You can't use any rule like that as complete gospel. But, yeah. I've never seen the under 22 dating 7+ years older last ever. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it happen once. I have seen it once where a friend of mine, not a close friend, just like general friend, she was 20 and she went on a date with someone who was 30. And in both of their defense, friends set them up because they thought they would like each other, and they didn't tell the other one how old the other was. They just said, here's so-and-so, go. Right? So they both agreed to meet just because someone was like, hey, I know someone who you'd like. And she was already out of school in a real job and had been in a job for a while because she did 1 year of college and found good employment. So her life that she was living was like, you know, she was in the next stage before some other people were that were still in college. And I was very skeptical because I was like, the age gap is there, right? I was skeptical, but I wasn't going to be like, don't do that, because this was a nice person. The dude was really nice. And they actually worked out, and they're still together. They've been together for a long time. And it worked out because of just who she is, I think. She was just kind of already in that life stage and had been living alone for a while and understood how the world worked. She was still a little young, you know, there's still going to be like some limitations emotionally, I think. But he was also really patient and good with her. And they took things really slow. And I was like, okay, you know what? Fine. And things went really well for them. And that is the one time, the only one time that I have seen that work out, where someone like under 22 dated someone like a lot older and it worked. Outside of that, I have never seen it work. It has always been a very one or both sides using each other kind of thing, or just them just missing each other, just missing the mark constantly, you know? Yeah, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. It's just not likely. It's not likely. And the two right people have to come together for a situation like that to end up okay, you know? Ooh, you said your parents are 9 years apart, but your mom's the older one and they've been together like 40 plus years. That's rare. That kind of age gap, and the woman's the older one especially. She got aura, man. She got aura. Said I used to be a lot more disapproving of the mutual exploitation dynamic, like sugar baby or daddy, but if both are adults and know what they're getting into, I don't really have a right to say anything. That's how I feel. I don't care. I don't care. They're using each other. And if they're both okay with it, then I don't give a fuck. Do I get the heebies looking at it? Yeah, when I see like a dude in his 60s hugging his like 20-year-old sugar baby, I'm like, ew. You know? I am like, ew. Here's the thing. I wouldn't be like, ew, if the girl truly loved him. It would be like odd to see because it's a bit surreal, but I wouldn't be like, ew, if they actually loved each other. The problem is it's never that, you know, and thus my brain is like, oh, because I know she doesn't really like him, right? Yeah, it's ew from both sides. Exactly, it's ew on the girl too, because she's like hugging the dude. She's like, oh my God, I love you so much. As he buys her a purse, and I'm like, which you see a lot in the city. If you ever walk past luxury stores, you see quite often, you see like young girl shopping at luxury store while really old dudes just standing there being like, get whatever you want, baby girl. And I genuinely like, I don't look at that and feel like, oh my God, someone should step in. Oh my God, someone needs to stop them. I just go, okay. If they both know what's going on, okay. Who am I to say anything, right? I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, girl, you can't. Whatever. Yeah, get that bag, girl. Dude, get what you want. It's whatever. Yeah, not my battle. Not my battle at all. I really, truly don't think there's a lot wrong with it. I think I could never imagine myself on either side of that situation. So does the word weird come up? Yeah. But it's whatever. Right? It's like not, whatever, man. You know? Who am I to judge? I feel that way with kind of everything. Kind of everything. I say it all the time. I feel like whenever I see like dudes complaining about girls having like OnlyFans or something like that, I'm like, whatever, there's a market. If I said, hey, I'm selling these red circles and I cut a bunch of red circles out of construction paper and you bought them, great, you wanted it, I was selling it. There it is, right? Same shit. Right? I don't care. Some girls like, I'm selling pics of my feet, and some dude's like, I'm buying. Okay, great. I'm not gonna be like, oh, this has to stop. Right? It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck? You want the red paper circles? I could do it. I could sell them. So I have a buddy that sells his feet pics his whole career now. I feel like that's rare. People joke about it all the time. And I feel like any like girl on the internet, especially, I feel like guys, that's rare. Any girl on the internet could start selling pics and like get some customer base that's small. But for the people that actually make it their living and like really make that their thing, I feel like it's not that many of them, right? I don't know. Maybe they are, and I'm just not tapped into the market. Maybe I'm just not like. Maybe it's not something I have enough info on. It's not really my expertise. I don't know. I have weird toenails, or I'd do it. Yeah, what do they look for? Do they care about? Oh, actually, I don't know how this stuff works. Do they care about like how the let's say it's a girl selling feet pics. Do they care about how the girl looks really heavily, or is it about how her feet look? I assume it's somewhat both, but like how strong is it to either side? Like how much does it matter? I don't really know how that works because I've never never really thought about this deeply. It probably varies, right? Yeah, I don't know. I would assume the feet got to carry like 70% of it. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, do we know that for sure? I've always wondered. Yeah, it must depend on the person, but like, what's the distribution there, dude? I would love to talk to someone who does that for a living and like interview them on what's the market like right now, man? Like how do a deep dive. How many people would you say as an expert care about how much you look good versus how much your feet look good? Maybe I gotta find someone for an interview, man. I'm writing this down. Wait, that'd be crazy. That'd be so fun. We just find people that are experts in weird questions that we've got. Hold on. I'm writing this down. I'm writing it down. Interview Garrick like he knows shit. I just bring him on for an interview and he just acts like he knows stuff. Oh, man. Oh, I don't know, man. Feet market's really in decline right now. I don't know. Doesn't Saru show her feet in some cosplays? Oh, Saru might be a good one to ask. Like, but would she know the answer to the specific question? Like, how much do they care about? I feel like we need to find people who like that and interview them. But also, that's a scary like slope to start going down. You know what I mean? But I think if I go into it being like I'm a documentarian and I act like I'm Louis Theroux, like I could do it. You know? I need a British accent, guys. But we could do it. Mouse had a story of knowing a woman who sold snot/saliva and was able to bankroll her own treatments with it. Wow. Good for her, yeah. Interesting, but weird. That's one of those things I will never understand people wanting. But I'm in the same situation as I am with all things. Brother, if you want it and you're not hurting anybody, buy what you want, sell what you want, you know? I mean, Speedy, thank you for the 11 months. You said sub has lapsed for a while. Time to fix that. Yes, tithers will be treated well. Tithers will be treated well here. Whoa. I had a 3D printing hobby channel I watched. The lady was barefoot in one random video, and then 3 weeks later, she announced she was going to start selling feet pics on Patreon. I was like, damn, what kind of offers was she getting? Whole one time? My God. There was something, what did they call it? There was a term for this. Do you guys remember Becky Cruel? Do you remember that girl, Becky Cruel? She was like one of the first like YouTube weebs. Remember her? She was, no? No, you don't remember her? She did Danjo. You don't remember Danjo? Okay, so she was one of like the first ever like known YouTuber weebs. Okay. And this was, I mean, like 15 years ago plus. And she's from the UK. And she like posted a couple of like, you remember everyone used to do like shitty weeb dance covers in their bedrooms and stuff a long time ago? She was one of those. And she got like sent to Japan to do this like ultra simple shitty dance on TV. And she was like mildly an idol in Japan, kind of, sort of. And back then they didn't really have a lot of foreigners, right? It's just like white. And they didn't have a lot of this in Japan. So it was like a big, interesting thing at that time, right? And she did all this stuff. And I remember I didn't hear her name for a long time. And then all of a sudden, she came back and she's like back in the UK. She's not focused on Japan-related content at all anymore. She was just a YouTuber for a long time. And she was instead just like doing a lot of vintage fashion stuff and all that. Oh, her, I had to look her up. A lot of you have probably seen her, even if you don't like remember the name. But she was like, she was doing this new content, and she said one of the things that she realized in retrospect, because she was making videos when she was younger, all through then adulthood after, she called it fetish mining. And she said people would like go to her fashion posts and like some dance covers, and they talk about how they like her outfit. And they'd be like, what brand are those socks, for example? Those socks that you're wearing with the frilled cuff, so cute. What brand are those socks? And then they'd be like, they'd comment. And they'd be like, oh, what does the bottom look like? And they'd pretend to be a fellow girl and then ask like a fashion question. And they'd get her to like, they'd try to get her to take a picture of a certain thing a certain way or whatever. And it was just them like trying to be low key and trying to get feed pics or trying to get certain pictures at certain angles or whatever. Isn't that crazy? I remember her talking about it. And I was like, man, just go to someone who's trying to do that, you know? and she made like a couple of videos years ago about it and describing it and just trying to like call attention to it and be like, hey ladies, be careful. You know, like be careful of what nice questions people are asking you, because they might not be nice questions, you know? It was just kind of weird. I remember being introduced to that a long time ago via her. And it was funny because it was like someone who I'd seen years ago because of one shitty dance and then never heard about. And then all of a sudden, boom, she comes back and she's like, I gotta tell you about this sock thing. And I was like, holy. It all comes full circle. It was pretty cool. It was a weird moment. Weird moment. But I thought it was nice that she was like telling people, hey, as someone who's done this for a long time, here's my experience, you know? I'm chill with people having their shit, but man, don't target people who ain't selling. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's all about like if the person wants it, totally fine. Yeah, she was one of those early creators too. Fetish farming is like half my audience. Yeah, Moki does a lot of super lewd art. I'm sure that you've got so many comments on a lot of stuff that you draw of people just like just like trying to get you to draw something that you're not trying to draw necessarily. I think the one that always gets me is people that role play with like art posts. It never, man. The comments are always funny. They're always funny. And I feel so bad for the people because I'm like, something's like, I don't know if there's a screw loose or what, but something's odd here. And it just, man, it just makes me laugh every time. And a lot of the time they RP with the art directly. And the artist is the account owner, not the character in the photo, right? And it just gets a little like I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing, man. I don't know. That shit will never not be funny. Dude, Boris is like, he's on one today. He's on some other shit today completely. Yeah, fellas. No, there are always people that will they'll just the thing is they're not satisfied with like just sitting there and enjoying an image. They gotta type out what they like and then like just a lot of just too much detail, you know? Nagi Raid, welcome on in. Welcome Raiders. What was she doing today? Welcome to the Geek stream. We're just chatting so far. We're gonna play a game in a bit. Resident Evil 2 remake. Ooh, 2 is so good. I love Resident Evil 2. I love it. She's doing the Claire section. Has she seen all the Has she seen Christopher being like, Leon, you need to have a child with my sister. You need to. Has she seen it yet? It's my favorite part about Resident Evil. When Christopher's like, please marry my sister. Don't think so. It's a whole thing. If you're not a fan of the series, like a deep fan, you may not know, but the bloodline is really important to him. Very important. Is that a purely Western meme? It might be a Western meme. It might be. I don't know. That's a good question. But I assume people in Japan know. Actually, because now, if you've noticed, a lot of Twitter, they're sharing content between Japan and English speakers very heavily. So I've been getting a lot of tweets recommended to me that are just auto-translated, and the auto-translate is a lot better than it used to be. It's getting like internet lingo correct. So there have been a lot of people in the Western sphere and then in like Japan that are communicating on Twitter now, and they're sharing memes and stuff. So I feel like nowadays, or from here forward, there's going to be a lot less of those memes like not going global, right? I think they're just gonna go global a lot more. Methinks. I hope so. I hope so, because there are a lot of jokes that like I've seen on like Korean Twitter, and I'm like, man, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to describe this, but it's good, you know. Henya references it. Okay. Well, I'm glad to see him. What'd you say, Moki? Oh, Raiders. We were talking about people specifically like saying weird stuff under like not safe for work art, and how the comments are always funny. So Moki here's an artist. Moki said, I had one specific client that every time I tweeted something I didn't like about it, they would instantly commission me to do, that they didn't like. They would instantly commission me to do that specific fetish art. So when I was low on money, I would say I didn't like some random thing, and in the next minute they would be in my DMs. Wait, they specifically wanted to make you draw stuff you said you didn't like? That's a crazy kink. That's insane. But hey, they paid you. I've never heard that one before. That's insane. Moki, that's a crazy strat to be able to just like tweet and be like, I hate feet. And then bro's like, yo, here's $100. Draw me some feet. That's actually like demented. Oh man. Wow. Yeah, ranked. He was ranked. Oh my god. That's actually really funny. That's really funny. Yeah, did it have to be sexual, or could you be like, I don't like trees. Oh no, I hate rectangular objects. Or would it have to be like, I hate boobs, and then he'd be like, draw boobs. Or something like that. Like, where's the limit? Bush. You know, Omni, I have like no reason for anyone to use that emote now, but I keep hoping people will use it because it's like my favorite emote. Bush. We would use it when I was playing GTA, and I'd be getting like followed by the police, and then I'd hop out of a car and hide in a bush. Like, that was the only time people would use it. I love that fucking emote. It's so good. Usually specific fetishes. Oh, okay. That's fair. Moki, whatever gets you paid. Okay, whatever gets you paid. Which, speaking of which, Moki drew this art up here. This art up here. Up top. The art that is on the desk mat, the card, and the t-shirt. Moki drew that. And then the cup was melty. You get a surprising amount of use out of tree. What, tree emote? Yeah, you know, I feel like when I think about what emotes I want to have, there are a good number of emotes that I've got that I feel like a lot of other people have, because everyone's trying to get the full array of emotions in their emote set, right? So you have your own for you. But what about an emote that's just a tree? you know? We don't have a ton of those that are like that. Just some. Just some. I think the spray bottle has been really good. I always like having unique ones. Or the punch where I punch through someone's face and it's 2 parts. I've seen people use that one in interesting ways. They chain that together. The one where it's my head but just tiny. My old head. Yeah, the spray bottle does get a lot of usage. I see a lot of people use that one. Oh, the clenched fist. That one and Gucci. I got one that's just called Geega Gucci. And I see people, they don't use it in this chat as much, but I see them in other chats. Where like someone will buy an expensive item in a game and they'll just post Gucci. Yeah, they'll post that one. It's just me and my Gucci sunglasses. I like that one. I use it as a sip. It's not bad as a sip either. But specifically, it's that one pair of old Gucci sunglasses. Which is maybe a really specific reference, but I kind of don't care. So I really wanted a Gucci emote. That's what we got. That's what we got. Yeah, and you know what? Pregaman has shot up in the ranks. Actually, let me see. I think they give me stats on how much my emotes are used now. It's somewhere. It's somewhere. But I'm pretty sure the stats on emote usage, I think Pregaman has climbed up in the ranks. What I like is they tell you what emotes are used in yours versus other channels.
Mega Men.
Let me see. Let me see. Ooh, I bet, you know what? Dude who mentioned trees, I bet you're getting good use out of that with people playing Trees Hate You. That new game. I could do it per stream. Oh my god, you can break it down now per stream what emote was used the most. And by unique users. Yeah, Pregaman is just my most used at this point. Pregaman, Nodders, Freak. Gucci is actually up there. It's up there. Not surprised by these ones. Not surprised. Love that. May I ask why you don't have the option to buy emotes for 24 hours? Because I want people to subscribe. Because my greatest joy would be if everyone that liked my content just subscribed. So I just leave it there. Because it's very helpful for me. You know? At least she's upfront about it. I've never done any big, like, giant, give me money type thing. I just go, hey, if you like it, subscribe. Please, thank you. That's all. You know? That's really it. She don't even beg for primes. I know, I should. I should be like, don't forget to use your primes. I don't do it often. I forget. I'm not good at asking for things. I'm really not good at asking for shit. I'm trying to remind myself to be like, you should subscribe. Even that much. Oh, that's... Yeah, there you go. There you go. Primes, please. Primes, please. Can you put on my head? Will it fit on my head or will it look weird? Does that work? No, we have to move it to the right. Move it to the right. I'll stay still. I'll stay still. Tier 3 subbed. Barely use the Discord. Here for the love of the game. Huge! Oh my god, Glumpy! Thank you for the 5 months. The 5 gifted. Rokinio said that was a reminder I needed. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It does help a lot. It does help a lot. Rudy, thank you for the 5 gifted as well. And Zenfoshet, thank you for the 5 gifted. I see you all. I appreciate it a ton. I do. I have certain ways that I separate out, like, what certain money is for. And I don't 100% stick to it, but I mostly do. And for me, like the stuff from Twitch, like the sub money, the bits, that just goes toward living expenses no matter what. That is always that. You know, so I always appreciate it. And then I try to, when I do certain projects and do other things, I try to allocate that for other stuff that costs money, you know? So, thank you. Thank you, Mad Moose as well. And Dan Thoreau, thank you for the 5 gifted. Thank you so much. Kumi Foot Enjoyer. Wait, are they here? I have a question for them. Are they here? Or did they get hit with a sub? Are they
Nice.
Kumi Foot Enjoyer, are you willing to type if you're in the chat? It's okay if you want to lurk. You got hit with a sub? I don't know if they're here, but you know, hey, we were just talking about this earlier. We just were. Thank you for the bits. And Filthy Corpo, thank you for the 15 gifted. Thought you had to be here to get a sub? No, it just slings them at random people too sometimes. Not always people that are here. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, man. If you've been here recently, it'll get you. Mitch, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Look, man, I promise the sub money just goes to living expenses. That's it. That and medical bills, you know. I guess that counts. That's part of living, right? Kumi Foot Enjoyer Summoning Circle. Well, I don't know if they're here. Because we need an expert. We need an expert because I have a really specific foot question. And I need someone who's tapped in to that community, who's locked in, someone who's like on top of it. I just need that. Message Kumi, she's in TV. Do I have her on Discord? I don't know if I do. We've been in group chats, but I don't know if I have her added. Fuck, I don't think I have her. Let's see if I am dropping. I have a question about feet, and chat said you were the person to ask. Fuck. Her DMs aren't open. Fuck it. I'm adding her. I mean, her profile picture literally has a gif of her like licking repeatedly, and it has the frame around it with feet on it. She accepted. Perfect. I have a question about feet, and chat said you were the person to ask. All right. We'll see. We'll see if she, you know. Moki says, I do have a lot of experience drawing feet for commissions if you want to go there. Feet people were a lot of my clients in the early days. Okay, Moki. I don't know if you have insight on this. Okay, she sent me a voice note.
I'm fucking scared. I'm scared. I'm so scared right now. Feet? About oh hell.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna send her a voice note. You know what? I'm not gonna type. This is perfect. I'm so glad she uses voice notes because I love voice notes. I just need people who are voice note enjoyers. Okay, voice note ready? Okay, so the question is, I was talking to my chat. We were bringing up feet. The question is, when people are into feet, what approximate percentage of people want the feet to look good and only care about the feet versus people that need like the person attached to the feet to look good and care about the person attached and how they look more? If you had to make a Venn diagram and sort of make a percentage on either side, where would you put that? Okay. There we go. Question sent. Guys, I need it. I need it. Geegaphobia. I'm not going to give her geegaphobia. No. I'm breaking the ice with the foot question, okay? It's an icebreaker. It's totally okay. It's not scary. I'm not going to inflict more people with geegaphobia. Okay. What the hell is that? He's right behind me, isn't he? This is so unserious. I'm literally serious. You prefer your dad or your mom's feet? I should ask people that. Wait, I'm writing that down though. I'm writing it down. I have a note on my notepad. Or I have a tab that is just weird questions to ask mid-collab. Okay, I have a note with that. Because if people start getting too comfortable, it gets a little dry. I need something. I'm adding that one. Do you prefer your mom's or dad's feet? Get it away from me. Get it away from me. This is my truth, okay? This is my truth, is that I just, this note is really, it comes in clutch. What else do you have on that list? I'm not going to tell you. The whole point is it needs to be fresh. It needs to be super fresh. Texas said dad's next question. Holy. I mean, it's hard for me to determine because my mom is like a permanent sock wearer and I genuinely could not picture her feet if I tried. As a dude, you can't say mom. That's fair. I couldn't even picture my mom's feet if I tried. Because she's just permanently like got socks on. She's always cold. My dad, however, barefoot all the time. And I've told this story a long time ago before. He was told by a guy whose job it is to sketch people for medical journals, to sketch bones, sketch whatever, that he wanted to use my dad as a model for feet because he was like, you just have like anatomically perfect, even feet. And my dad was like, is this a weird fetish thing? And the dude was like, no. And then showed like all of his work and like proof that he was published and he draws like body parts for medical journals. This is a long time ago when they still drew everything, you know? And he was like, I know where to look. And my dad was like, okay. He never like did it for a while. And then eventually he was like, all right. Because the dude was legit. Doesn't mean that there still might not have been an edge of the guy still enjoying that stuff. But, you know, it's sort of like that BCSO question. Oh, the one Nathan asked. Yeah. Okay, we got a voice note back.
You know, is this genuinely the state of what I've become?
Yes.
Like, this is genuinely, this is what chat thinks. Like, they think I'm the one for this. Geega's like, yeah, I need to know. I know what these foot lovers like. And chat's like, yeah, ask Kumi. Yeah, she be clapping them dogs. She be clapping them. So.
Wait, I need the answer though.
Bro, I have no idea. Help! I'm scared. I don't know.
She has to know.
I be clapping him, and I hold my hands with him as like a little stim. It's self-soothing. You know what? I shouldn't feel the need to defend myself. I'll have to research on this topic.
Okay. All right. She's gonna. I believe that even if she doesn't have the answer in her head right now, she can get it. Okay. Kumi, I believe in you. Oh, okay, and this is really important. I also believe that you have access to the right people and the right resources to get the answers we need. And I need you to research this and come back with the best answer you possibly can because I have to know. Okay. Give her a deadline. I'm typing in all caps. You have 24 hours. She has 24 hours. That's it. Sorry, that might be the cause of the gigaphobia. That's the problem. That's the problem. Everything starts off okay, and then. But if we don't set a deadline, you know, 24 hours. Because this is important. We gotta know. Kumithon's tomorrow. Oh. She said I'm on it. Who cares? We need this first, okay? We need this first. The Kumithon cannot be a success without this. Not at all. Not at all. Okay, it's necessary. Heavenly's mod is asked and he's a Giga freaker. So he's probably got good insight. You're right. Hold on. Messaging Heavenly. Oh, you're so right. Yeah. All right, hold on. You can only do voice notes on your phone, unfortunately. I wish they worked on a desktop. Finding Heavenly. All right, I'm gonna send him a voice note. Hey, I'm just talking to my chat about something, and we had a question that was really important, but I know that you have a lot of mods, specifically that one that's like really freaky. So we thought that that might be a good person to answer this question. But the question is, if you were to have to gauge this, what percentage would you give this? How many people who are into feet would specifically only care about the feet looking really good versus what percentage of them care only about the person attached to the feet, the body and face looking good? What do they care about? And if you drew a Venn diagram and there's some in the middle, you know, you can account for that too. That is the question. Thank you. Okay. I'm letting him, I'm typing as well so he knows. I gotta know, man. He's gonna play on stream right now. I don't know. I don't know. Is he? We'll see. Maybe I should ask. Let's ask Google. What's Google's AI? Do you think it could dig for this? No, Google's AI mode is usually so fucked. What percentage of people that like feet only care about how the feet look versus how many of them care about how the rest of the person looks? Gemini is better, yeah, but it's like the base. The thing is, the AI overviews on Google have been a little iffy for me. For general questions, it's usually pretty good, but for niche questions, it still suffers. Okay. The overview says, no definitive statistic, but individuals with a foot fetish often experience it as a full body attraction rather than a sole focus. Does it know that it just created an insane pun? Sole focus? While feet are the primary trigger, a significant majority still find the rest of the person's appearance, personality, and body important, with the feet being the catalyst. Interesting. Now that's the overview, which I often do not trust. I often do not trust. So we'll see. We'll see. I feel like we need a deep dive. We need a deep dive on this at some point. Because this is just, it's like places I've never gone. Thoughts I've never had. New thought for me. Ooh, Moki said, for what my clients want, it was more about the character. Like, I like this character, but also wish to see her feet. Okay. So they were, your clients who wanted you to draw art were interested in the character more, and then were like, also the feet. We need the real Scotty Bard for this. Skatebeard. The thing is, the guy who plays Scotty, Skatebeard, is not into feet at all. But he made a character where like one of his number one, like a top 5 personality traits on the D&D character sheet of this character was likes feet. And he had like on his soundboard that like, you know, links with his mic, he would have the little like takes picture sound. And in collabs, whether you're in certain games or not, doesn't matter. In collabs, he would point his character looking down at somebody and hit the shutter sound. And then you'd be like, that's going on WikiFeed. And he just made it his bit for so long, to the point where people think it's like real. It's not for the record. But never not funny. Oh, man. Oh, man. That's crazy. It's the Rust Feet Wallow all over again. Dude, remember how many pictures Bean took? You remember that? In the Church of the Blood God, we had the girls' room. And we had me and Bean and Cora all bunking in the girls' room. We had like this tiny shoebox of a room, and we all put ourselves in one and bunked together. And then the walls were just covered in feet pics. We were trying to get like everybody on the Rust server on the wall. Oh, it was so good. It was so funny because the sign above the door too was like cute, and it was like girls' room. So people would be getting the house tour, and they'd be coming in. They'd be like, "Oh my god, this church is so nice. Oh, this place is crazy. Oh, your storage is cool." And then they'd see the people's rooms, and they'd see like individual room, and at the end of the hallway, girls' room. And they would always be like, "Oh, I gotta go in the girls' room." As part of the tour, they'd always be like, "Please let me in." And what they would see is they'd see like 3 beds lined up touching, like Minecraft beds, and then they would just see feet pics all over the wall. That shit was like kind of horrific. But it was a good time. It was a good time. It was fun, you know? Just me and the girls with the dogs on the wall. It was interesting. Him going around with the camera was killing me. Dude. One of my favorites too. Did you guys ever see Z-Chum made a video from that Rust server of like the peeper? I don't know if he put it on YouTube though. It was like an insanely good trailer. I think he made a short. Oh, yeah. Wait. Is this a full-length video? Wait, I'm trying to find the video, but a lot of these thumbnails are like really scary. He's got really intense thumbnails, scary in a good way. I know he had a really awesome trailer for it on Twitter too. That was like, it was crazy good. Hold on. I'm gonna find it. Me typing Z-Chum peeper into into the fucking search bar in Twitter. Kind of fucked up. Hold on. I will find it. That guy's got hole out on the chair. He can do whatever he wants, dude. He can do whatever he wants. Hold on, wait. I may have found it. Yes. Okay. I found it. There's this video that I remember him posting. And the thing is, the whole time I was playing Rust, there were a couple of times here and there where someone just ran up out of nowhere and took a picture of someone and ran away. And every time we were all like, what the fuck was that? Because the person would appear so suddenly and run away, and we could never catch them. And I want you to see this video that he made of it, because it was so funny. How do I put this in front of everything? Oh man, the Z-Chum peeper bit was insane. Generational bit, man. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Ooh, Heavenly has replied about the feet question. He says, my mod says it's 40% care for feet only, 60% care for the part attached. My chat agrees LARPers only care about the feet. Real foot freaks love Oliver. So true. So true. Thank you for this valuable information. Thanks to your wonderful community for providing the answers we need. So what we'll do is we'll wait for Kumi's answer as well, and then we'll average them. Quote from chat, you can't have a burger without fries. That's it. That's it. Flames. Dare I say flames. My God. Now it's time. Speaking of feet. You know what game has a lot of feet in it, and they are feet we must protect?